I'm Vinnie Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And it just seems in the past several weeks we've had a series of stories that are very unusual and very confusing, and this hour will be no exception to that. One of the stories involves a young woman, who's 19 years old, goes to the hospital complaining of back pain. She goes there with her mom. She's in labor, delivers the child in the bathroom, leaves the child in the bathroom, in plastic, in the trash. She's now charged with murder. Take a listen here, because police responded. Body cams are rolling, and you get to see some of the statements and reactions like in real time. Let's take a look.
We did a pregnancy test on her, showed positive. She was denying that she had sex. Then she said she had to go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. She was in there for quite a while. We kept knocking on the door. Finally, we got her to open the door, and there was blood everywhere. She was cleaning it up. She had taken it and put it in the regular trash, and there's still trash all around the baby. She put it right in the trash can. Then she twisted it and wrapped it underneath him, and then set the baby in the bottom. Then she put paper towels on top, and then 2 wadded up trash cans or liners. They were clean on top of that, and then she placed a brand new clean liner in the trash can like it was ready to take trash. When they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it was underneath the clean bag. The baby's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid. Cold and blue already. His temperature was like 95. No signs of life, no breathing, no respirations, no heartbeat, nothing, no movement whatsoever.
So she's charged with murder. So a big part of the case will be the autopsy and toxicology results. Let's take a look. Cause of death: asphyxia, suffocation, strangulation, manner of death, homicide, how the injury occurred, tied in a plastic bag. Then the important toxicology results: caffeine presumed positive, morphine free, 19 nanograms per milliliter, phentermine 420 nanograms per milliliter. So what exactly do these results mean for the defense? Joining me right now in Ruidoso, New Mexico, Alexee Trevizo's defense attorney. He's back with us tonight, Gary Mitchell. Gary, thanks so much for joining us again tonight. Autopsy results are out. Toxicology is out. What does it mean to you?
Well, it means that this child didn't die like everybody thinks, and the child wasn't killed by my client. That's what that means. And at the end of the day, we know that there's a major issue with the autopsy and the way they claim that this child died of suffocation. That's not correct. We also know that the hospital committed a major wrong in giving my client morphine for a lengthy period of time, well over an hour, almost an hour and a half. And we know that the baby had morphine in it as well, which suppressed breathing. So there are many, many issues. We also know this child had certain bacteria that they found at the autopsy, including E. coli, which can cause major problems for a baby or elderly people. We also know that she was positive for COVID and influenza A and B. So we had a very sick child. And we also know that from other forensic pathologists that the type of tests run by the lab, by the Office of the Medical Investigator in New Mexico, are not classically used. So we had major issues in that regard. And then we've learned that some of the things that the hospital has been saying are incorrect. She never, for example, she never told them that she was a virgin. She never told them that she didn't have sex. Things of that particular nature. So there's a lot.
At what point, because we bring it back to the fact that she goes to the bathroom to deliver this child, at what point did the hospital know she was pregnant? At what point did she know she was pregnant?
They knew she was pregnant at 12:51, 51 minutes after midnight. They did not tell her. She did not know she was pregnant until she had the baby at 1:39, 1:40 in the bathroom. That's when she first learned that she was giving birth. So the hospital knew for 46 minutes that she was pregnant. They didn't tell her. They let her go to the bathroom, and we know that a woman giving birth, particularly a teenager, may feel that they simply have to go to the bathroom. You use the same or similar muscles in that regard. We also know that they continue to give her, not only morphine, but 5 other different drugs, 4 of which are contraindicated for birth for a fetus. So the hospital knew all of this. They didn't stop. And not only that, they unhooked her from the IV and allowed her to go to the bathroom, knowing that she was pregnant at the time. A cardinal sin in the emergency room.
So what is the status of the case right now? These results are relatively new. It wasn't known the last time we spoke, at least. So are there conversations going back and forth with prosecutors, or are we just on the track of this thing moving towards a trial?
We're on the track of this moving toward a trial. We're in the investigatory stage, at least I am. I'm getting my experts, giving them all the materials. Obviously, you know from my conversation with you that I've already talked to certain experts, and I have a lot of information about the case. Plus, the trial is not set until next year. We know that the trial date that was set in the fall is going to be moved. And I'm preparing motions regarding everything from changes of venue to the misuse of privileged materials to a motion to suppress certain statements and things of that particular nature.
And final question here tonight. Alexee, your client, she's not behind bars, right? She's released and being monitored. What's her status tonight, and how would you describe her state of mind right now?
Well, first of all, she's just graduated high school. She stays alone, with the exception of her parents, and she doesn't go out. She and other than visiting a sister or relatives that may come by, she doesn't see any friends. She has no physical contact with her boyfriend, the father of the child. She talks to me, and she's in some counseling as ordered by the court.
All right, Gary.
But other than that, she lives a very stoic life.
Yeah. Gary Mitchell, representing Alexee Trevizo. We appreciate your time tonight, Gary, and hopefully we'll speak again soon.
We shall. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, folks, let's bring in our think tank. Joining us live in studio tonight, criminal defense attorney, entertainment attorney, former state attorney in Florida, and former assistant DA in Atlanta, Daryl Cohen. Also with us, criminal defense attorneys Marsha Mignon, and finally, criminal defense attorney, the man behind the glasses, Josh Schiffer. And the glasses, Marsha, did you guys set this up ahead of time?
We tried.
It's a long-time plan.
All right.
We're working on it.
They're going to do battle with you, Daryl.
Trendsetters.
Yeah. All right. Daryl, the corner of my eye, I'm doing the interview here, corner of my eye, Daryl's making faces throughout this interview. What are your thoughts about this case?
Well, my first thoughts are, I don't think that infant was able to walk from the hospital room bed to the bathroom and jump into the trash can and surround itself with plastic and suffocate. I think her lawyer is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's doing a good job, but he doesn't have the evidence. He may be saying that they made mistakes. This woman sadly killed her child. Whether or not it's murder, as far as...
That's what she's charged with.
Well, she's charged with murder, and she actually killed her child, in my view, based on the evidence I see. But having said that, I think ultimately this will end up being a plea, her getting a lot of counseling and a lot of help, because it's an unusual murder. It's terrible, but it's unusual.
Marsha?
I disagree. I think the hospital has...
See, everyone that sits in that seat usually disagrees with Daryl.
It's a given.
It's the
And
disagree
this
seat.
seat
Yeah.
and that seat, all those seats. It's not
The
hard.
only reason I disagree is because I know that a lot of times it's difficult to understand how at such a young age she could not know that she's pregnant. It's happened to women even older than she is that say, I didn't even know I was pregnant until I got to the hospital. My concern is that the hospital, based on the information from her attorney, had all the knowledge prior to her, assuming arguendo that's true, that she was pregnant. And if that's the case, there's a whole lot of negligence to go around.
But that doesn't stop. A murder, negligence is one thing. Murder, the actual act of killing your child, is still a murder.
Well,
negligence or not.
assuming the child wasn't killed by morphine, assuming the child wasn't killed by all the medications that they were pumping her with when she got to the hospital and said, I have back pain. And if you're pumping her with medication, knowing that she's pregnant, then there might have been a murder, but it was committed by the hospital.
Oh,
And really,
Oh,
yeah, I'm going to follow up on that, because really, I've dealt with hospitals. I've been deeply involved with one and or more pregnancies.
You've been pregnant?
No, but I've contributed. One of the issues is you don't just go to the hospital and get some morphine. They check into you before they start pumping you up with the good stuff. You also don't really get treated as a woman without pregnancy tests coming out really quickly. It's one of the first things doctors do. So I'm really interested to hear about what the hospital did and clearly didn't do, but I agree with Daryl. There's some serious mental health issues involved with this. I find it very difficult to conceive not realizing you're pregnant, and then there's some untruths being shared.
Let's do this.
Here.
Let's watch together. Alexee, this again is on the body cam. This is her reaction in the moment. Now her mom's in there, the doctor's in there, and obviously officer with a body cam. Let's watch.
I'm sorry. It came out in me and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this.
But it
I
was
just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
scared. It was not crying or nothing.
I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
Do you guys have, I'm the charge nurse here, do you guys have any questions for me?
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What?
Nothing,
9 months?
nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
Nothing was crying.
It's difficult. Let me show you one more piece of evidence, okay? That may be used in this case. I don't know. This is from Yvonne the Plug on TikTok. This is a still frame from a video. That's her. She's still cheerleading. She's still cheerleading. That's her right in the middle. Many that we've had in the newsroom have said, yeah, that looks like a baby bump.
It kind of smacks. Are you kidding me with the pregnancy unknowing? And really, your body's your body. I find it difficult, even though I admit it's been reported before.
But we think she was on diet pills, too.
Yeah, women have been able to be pregnant, and I've never been pregnant, but I'm sure that you can miss some things. But it's so hard to believe.
So you're going to take my word for it?
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. It's so hard to believe. You're missing something that happens pretty regularly for a number of months, and clearly that young lady is terrified of talking to her mom about this.
And then she runs to the bathroom and gives birth, and then, please. I mean, there's negligence, I agree, but there's mental health issues galore.
Well, if she's got mental health issues, then you've just taken away her intent in murder.
There you go.
No. Mental health issues does not mean you've taken away her intent. It just means she has mental health
Well,
issues.
now her defense would be
Well, I think the defense, it looks like it's leaning on that this was a stillborn child. Yeah, stillborn child. So that's a battle of the experts inside the courtroom.
Did I not hear she said the baby was crying?
No,
she
she
said
said
that
Nothing
wasn't
was
crying.
crying.
Oh.
Nothing was crying.
But it's the lying and the purposeful, willful blindness.
So how important is the issue of whether or not she knew she was pregnant?
critical in a murder case. because you have to have intent. You have specific intent crimes and general intent crimes. Fortunately for her, murder is a specific intent crime. So if she didn't intend to cause the death of the child, prosecutors better be looking at charging something else really quickly.
If there's evidence, like let's say hypothetically there's evidence that she had talked to friends about a name for the baby, that would be really bad for her.
It would be bad for her. However,
really bad.
You talking about the name for a baby doesn't mean
For
that when
the baby.
For the baby.
Yeah,
when
it
you got
doesn't
to the
matter.
hospital.
What matters is she put the baby in the trash can. She put plastic around the baby. It doesn't take a brilliant detective to realize she committed a murder.
What if the baby was dead when she put it in the trash?
Then she attempted to commit the murder.
And that's the other thing, because they
They're
can get her
here
on something.
the whole hour.
They can get her on abusing a corpse. They can get her on everything.
That's what I just said.
Tell
All
you.
right.
The prosecutor needs to look at new charges.